Hi, welcome to our first food review on Ming's Chinese Restaurant, located at 1414 Dillingham Boulevard, Honolulu, Hawaii, 96817, at the Waikamilo Shopping Center, near the McDonald's. So today, we're at Ming's Chinese Restaurant with Matthew Kudo, and Kaylee Kumashiro, and me, Art Wong, to tell you about this great restaurant and the great Chinese food we have here. On today's menu, we're having xiaolongbao.
Oh, it's good because it's a surprise in there that you're not really expecting. When you see a dumpling like this, you're thinking maybe it's like a wonton. It's just meat. But when you open inside and take the first bite, you're surprised with like aromatic, juicy flavor. And when you mix it in with the red vinegar, it tastes really awesome.
So when eating xiaolongbao, usually most people use red vinegar to enhance the flavor of the dumpling. Be careful when you pick it up because you don't want to accidentally, burst the dumpling.
There's soup inside.
What was there?
There's a soup inside.
So as we can see, inside there's a pork and a soup base. Sanjianbao, which is pan-fried bun stuffed with pork. And also, just like the earlier dumplings, it has a juicy surprise inside with a nice hot soup filling.
Stop Manapua.
I know.
And this is why we're making the video.
Stereotype.
To tell people what this Shanghainese food is all about. So Kaylee, what kind of food do you think we're having today?
I don't know. Chinese food.
Well, yes, it's Chinese, but actually it's Shanghainese and Cantonese food. What's the difference is that it's specialized in a lot of dumplings, as we'll see in a bit, and a lot of
Dim sum.
yes, Cantonese food, Cantonese style cooking, Chinese cooking, dim sum, but a lot of dumplings and a lot of starch. Trying the pork bun, so let's see what you think. Oh, that's why we have to be careful because there's a lot of juice, as we've just noticed.
We told you this, Kaylee.
I know,
It's a hot, soup
I didn't think
inside.
it was gonna squeeze out the other side.
So as Kaylee has demonstrated, it's a very juicy bun. There's a soup base inside, so
Eat carefully.
eat carefully, don't burn yourself. But Kaylee, so after taking that first bite, what do you think, like the taste-wise?
It's a little salty, but the pork is just right.
So the soup enhances the flavor.
Yeah. And succulent.
Sounds good. Enjoy.
I think the bun itself is very tasty because it's steamed, and on the bottom you can see that there's like sesame seeds, and it gives a good crunch to it. And with mixture with the soup, the crunch, and the meat itself of the pork, it's very good. I like the way that the texture is. It's crunchy and meaty at the same time. It's awesome.
We have Shanghai style fried rice cake, which is Shanghai style mochi.
So it's stir-fried, and usually there's two versions of this dish. One, which is like this one, which has pork and also cabbage, and it's a very tasty dish, and it also has some shrooms in there. There's another version of this that comes with crab. So there's a crab and Shanghai stir-fried mochi. It's a really good dish to try if you haven't had Shanghai food before. This is a good way to intro yourself. It's a good starch, and also it's different from what you can get at most Chinese restaurants. Here we have a great dish you can find here at Ming's. This dish is Shanghai style noodles. It's all made in-house. The noodles itself is made in-house. So you can't get anything like this anywhere else. So if you come to Ming's, you really want to try either the Shanghai style noodles or the Shanghai stir-fried mochi. Alright, so here I'm going to dig into the mochi here. So you always want to eat this hot. And see the steam coming out of it. So the thing about this is the mochi. So besides mochi, there's vegetables, cabbage, and there's pork, as stated earlier. Interesting about this dish is that the mochi has this chewy texture, and yet it's not sweet. It's chewy, and it's just the right amount of flavor to it. One thing that you always have to wonder is, should I be eating this because it's so good, and actually every time we come here we have this, or should we be eating this because this is also really good?
And Art finished off his food.
Well, as I said earlier, finish my mochi, move on to this noodles. So this noodles here, Chinese style noodles, made in-house. No one else, locally makes this or makes it as good as this.
And only Art can do the trick with the spoons.
Yes,
Only one man.
only one man can do this, and it's me. I can do that or whoever works at a restaurant. Must be my blood. But the thing about this noodle, why it's so good. So when you first look at it, you think, it's just regular noodles, but the thing about this noodles is it's a mix of a right chewy texture. It has a nice flavor. It's stir fried, so it has a nice. It's not too oily. It's just right, and it has a little bit of shoyu on it. You can taste it, but it's not overwhelming. It's not too strong. And accompanying with this noodles, we have pork and cabbage again. It's very staple food. As we've noticed so far, every dish has pork and cabbage or pork. It's a staple of Shanghai food. So today we have this dish. It's really awesome. This dish is actually a little bit different from what we usually would have. It looks familiar. It has the same, red peppers, red chili peppers, and garlic. It smells like, what does it smell like?
Like garlic and chicken.
So it smells like garlic pepper chicken, maybe?
Yeah.
Okay.
I can't smell the peppers,
But in reality, you're right, it's chicken, but what kind of chicken?
It's chicken knees.
Yes, so it's chicken knees. If you haven't had it before, you can have it here.
They're awesome. They're very crunchy, and they're that part of the chicken that people don't really tend to eat. It's crunchy, and from what I hear, it's a good bar food because it's salt peppered style like shrimp, but it's crunchy with the cartilage of a chicken. I recommend getting this, even though it's not on the menu. You can ask for it. It's got a good spice to it. It's got a little heat because of the peppers, and it's got that real comfort food taste to it.
Sorry for the taste.
Oh, what do you think? What does it taste like?
It's kind of like KFC's popcorn chicken, but at the same time, the kneecap gives it a really crunchy texture. How is the kneecap?
Crunch-tastic.
Fantastic.
It's like salt pepper style with that hint of chili, so it's actually not too spicy, but it's really good. It has a good texture to it. It's like it's got a good crisp on the outside, and when you get into the inside, it's got a surprising more crunch to it. It's really good. Wish I had beer. This would be a good beer food.
So Kaylee's favorite dish here is
The shredded bean curd with golden mushrooms, and it's a cold salad with wasabi on it.
The mushrooms and the peas have a very crisp feel to them. So they actually, this is a good dish to eat in the summer because it's very cooling and refreshing.
My favorite dish here, and sometimes the wasabi is stronger than sometimes. This one's not as strong, so you get the wasabi kick, but it's not like you get it up your nose.
So here we have the Shanghai style smoked fish. So this is a real treat here because you can't get this anywhere else, and people who do it outside of here, they can't do it as good as this place. You should try this fish. I mean, it has a sweet flavor. It's kind of interesting.
Almost like butterfish.
It's exactly what Kaylee said. It has a butterfish kind of feel, but not really.
It's soft like butterfish.
There's a soft texture. Well, first of all, Shanghai style cooking this or smoking this fish it has this nice sauce to add to it. It's actually a sweet, not really a shoyu, but it's a sweet sauce. Also created in-house. Trade secret. They can't tell me what it is. Caution: if you like to eat fish, be careful. This fish has a lot of bones, so careful when you eat this. So 英姐，咁你哋開咗幾耐咧？你哋
2年半到咯。
2年半。咁你覺得你個招牌嘅餸係咩咧？
我哋招牌餸通常咧都係大多數都係咧叫啲小籠包啦、生煎包啦、燻魚啊，或者我哋呢啲或者超炒麵喎。但係呢個係啲上海餸，但係啲廣東餸我哋都賣得唔錯。好似我哋有姜葱蟹啊，有蒸魚啊嗰啲，我哋晚黑都好多人叫。仲有啲走地雞，因為走地雞嗰度賣得好。
So
佢好怕醜㗎。
So this is the head chef here, Ming哥。So 呢嘢食好食，好正。
佢咧就有啲餸咧，佢好似有啲炒蟹啊，或者龍蝦啊，佢係好拿手嘅。嗰啲對嗰啲師傅嗰啲嘢，佢真係好拿手。
我第一次嚟試。
係啊。
因為呢個麵我好中意食。
係啦，呢個麵我哋自己拉麵。
你自己整啊？
自己拉麵。
哦。
所以都算唔錯啦。
If you ever decide that you want to come out to Lee side and you really want good Chinese food, this is the place to be. You know, you try something different. It's not the regular A plate, B plate from like Pandas or whatever Chinese fast food. If you want real Chinese food, this is the place to be. You don't get something that you get off from American-style imitation Chinese food. And speaking as a Chinese person, this is a place you should always come to if you want authentic Chinese food.